All right, so I wanted to talk the keto diet again. I know I harp on this a lot, but I just some of the stuff I've been hearing lately is just baffling my mind. I'm gonna get started. I'll talk about some of this stuff. I know you can't see the whole screen because my face is in the way, but suffice it to say, all of this stuff over here. Let's get the mouse up here. All of it sugar-free. All right, this is Ryan, High Carb Regenerator, whatever the name of this channel is, depending on which one you're watching it on. And a little bit of background on me before I get started is I did keto for 10 years. Yes, I lost weight like everybody does in the beginning. And then I went a little crazy and then I gained a bunch of weight. So I'm completely against it. It has messed up my liver. It has messed up my kidneys. It's a nightmare. My hormones were all off, terribly off. Let's get started here. This is a why the keto diet failed me video.
But I also refer to the keto diet, low carb in general, ketovore diet, or lion diet. There are a lot of different levels to eating an animal.
This guy is so out of energy that he's got to have 5 jump cuts in the first 12 seconds. He can't even get a coherent sentence out for long enough to even fill 12 seconds. 12.
Based diet. And while I think all of these are good, all of these are much better than the standard American diet or any other.
Oh man, the keto is now better than the standard American diet. Oh, damn. I mean,
diet that
stupid that you weren't hearing anymore is unreal.
People are trying. I wanted to take this video and talk about why I stopped doing the keto diet and why I think it stopped working for me. And that's on display right here.
Maybe you failed the keto diet.
You see, the keto diet has such a strong focus on the number of carbs that you're taking in. And for myself, I did what you would call dirty keto. I didn't really care if I was eating artificial sweeteners. If it was 0 carbs, that was good enough for me. And that worked for a while. But there are a couple different drawbacks to doing that. One of them is you never quite get rid of the cravings in the same way as when you cut them out completely. Another one that I found, a lot of
this is like saying, while I was on the keto diet, I craved breathing. I did it the whole time, you know. I caved, and that's why the keto failed me. It failed me. You hear that? Oh, the stupidity. I've had it to the max with the keto talk. This is even more ridiculous. Yes, this one of my screens is here. I'm recording on a separate one. Live with it. I find that eating cold, fatty yogurt with no added sugar. I can't see, this screen's so small. No added sugar nor artificial sweeteners really helps me getting rid of sweet cravings on a keto diet. And then I drink all my coffee and my caffeine just to make it through the day.
Doctors and experts that you'll hear talk about the keto
with
diet.
The 1,000-yard stare, the keto stare. Most people don't even know what Vietnam is anymore. The Vietnam War was. So I'm going to call it the keto stare because everybody knows what keto is anymore. It's a keto stare. It's do I have my coffee? Do I have my coffee? It's oh man.
That some people will still react to artificial sweeteners like these that I'm showing you right here. Your body will still react to artificial sweeteners similar to sugar, and it will cause a spike in insulin much the same way as if you were to eat actual sugar. If it kicks you out of ketosis and sends your body into fat storage mode instead of fat burning mode, then you're losing some of the benefits that you're trying to gain by being 0 carb. Now, when I was on keto, I listened to that and
there is no benefit to a diet that doesn't have sugar in it because the entire body runs off of sugar. Yeah, not sugar-free steak sauce, not sugar-free blackberry jam, Splenda, Mentos, another health food.
I said, well, I'm going to find out if that's me, if that's how my body works. And so I experimented with eating or drinking some of the different artificial sweeteners that were on the market. And I never really found any of them to have a measurable effect. I could consume these artificial sweeteners. I could put sweetener in my coffee. I could drink artificial sweeteners.
With the butter. He put his artificial sweeteners, butter in the coffee, just bulletproof.
Soda like Coke Zero or some of the others. I could have sugar-free.
It cracks me up. I do the DoorDash, right? I do the DoorDash, and I'll go every damn order anymore. And I go out and I'll get like a thing of Hostess donuts. I'll get a thing, not for me, for these people, for like a family size bag of Doritos, like 3 of them. What else? Ice cream. Ice cream's really big. There's no sugar in ice cream, though. No, none. All fat. All keto. You list it, and then I'll get like 4 cases of sugar-free, Coke. That makes sense.
Gum, I could put drops in my water. With all of these, whenever I did a test, it didn't seem like it ever kicked me out of ketosis. It didn't seem like it ever spiked my insulin. And yet I know it was doing something.
Yeah. The body, it's a mistake. It's a mistake, people. We're not actually supposed to make insulin. Who knew? We have a pancreas. It was a mistake. It was kind of like, what were we thinking? It's like the wisdom teeth. We really didn't need them. Just take them out. Just take them out.
And the reason I know this is because when I went carnivore and I cut these out completely, my weight loss took a huge step forward.
I poisoned myself even further, and my body reacted by pulling minerals, by pulling water out of my system to neutralize the poisons that I'm giving myself. And I lost weight, is the way you really should be saying this.
And became much more consistent. And so I don't know exactly what it is about the artificial sweeteners, but I know that if you're struggling to get the weight loss results that you want, I believe if you were to cut out artificial sweeteners completely for, let's say, a week or more, you're going to start to see some very...
Further poisoning yourself at like the highest level, right? You're medium poisoning yourself with the sugar stuff. But if you cut it out, you can just fully poison that self and lose as much weight as possible. Because it's all that matters. Health does not matter whatsoever. Get into that bikini body.
Results. You're going to start to see those weight loss.
And don't forget the coffee, not human food.
Effects that you were really hoping for and looking forward to. Now, for some of you, if keto and carnivore is really not about weight loss, it's about the other effects that you're going for.
What other effects would there possibly be?
And you're really not concerned about weight loss, then maybe artificial sweeteners are just fine for you. Or maybe you've already hit that target weight and you're at a healthy level and you want...
I feel like I'm listening to a role. It's like, and if you're looking to have some weight loss, oh wait, no, you don't want weight loss. Blah, 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 blah.
To experiment with putting...
I'm going to say this, it's not a hate video, but kind of is, but like, disclaimers.
In some artificial sweetener from time to time. Well, that's great for you, but
this bro can't even get through a 4-minute, 18-second video without jump cuts. All right, I can't handle it anymore. Can't handle it, bro.
Studies showing that vegans and vegetarian are more susceptible to broken bones, but let's dive beyond the headlines. What is missing from there? Is this accurate?
Sure.
It's a common misconception that eating carbohydrates will make you gain weight no matter what. In reality, this is only true if the carbohydrates that you eat are predominantly refined. And when those refined carbohydrates are eaten.
Do you know, well, he's probably going to say with fat, but do you know that the glycemic index of straight up sugar is lower than a potato or a sweet potato? So,
in a high fat environment.
I agree there.
In fact, high carbohydrate diets can be healthy and beneficial for your body when they are sourced from nutrient-dense sources like fruits, starchy vegetables, legumes, and intact whole grains.
Oh, God. What is with this whole intact grain thing? What other seeds do you eat with the shell on them? What other seeds do you go to, you go back, you go and you should have time machine, go back to the 80s, early 80s, go to China and Japan. There is no brown rice, right? There is brown rice before they process it and it becomes real food into white rice. And then they eat it in vast quantities, right? With the vegetables and maybe a little animals. And they are skinny and they run circles around us mentally fit. I mean, they repopulate like crazy. But take the shell off the grain, man. Otherwise, it's going to be bad for you.
And for full clarity, also in conjunction with an overall low-fat diet.
That's why in this video, we'll explore the incredible benefits of eating a high-carbohydrate diet that many people just don't know anything about. We'll also myth bust about the quote-unquote danger of eating carbohydrate-rich foods. And we'll talk about why carbohydrate-rich food is actually the secret to reversing prediabetes and type 2 diabetes.
I was wrong. I'm going to go. I'll show myself the door.
Diabetes, even though that may sound blasphemous.
And you'll really want to watch this video all the way through because it turns out
that's a good mic.
Finding the right carbs might be the secret to living longer, feeling better, and losing weight. High carbohydrate diets have often been viewed with skepticism because it's believed that they can
maybe I should start using B-roll like that.
lead to weight gain when not managed correctly.
Now, this happens because of a true fact. Sometimes high carbohydrate foods are calorie dense and high in sugar, but only when they are refined. And both of these increase the risk for weight gain and obesity and high blood glucose, especially if they're not eaten mindfully. So why do we recommend eating a high carbohydrate diet?
In order to understand this confusion between the low carbohydrate...
I do like the way they're switching back and forth like that. It keeps the attention because people have the attention of a 3-year-old anymore, thanks to TikTok and all that.
Carbohydrate diet and diets high in carbohydrates, you have to understand that there are multiple types of carbohydrates.
No. Your body does not care. It wants sugar, glucose.
Carbohydrates are broken down into two main categories, refined and whole.
Refined carbohydrates are carbohydrates that can be found in things like candy bars and soft drinks and pastries.
No, there's fat in that. There's a lot of fat in that. That's a huge difference.
Processed carbohydrates are digested very quickly, and they lead to a rapid rise in your blood glucose value within a short period of time after.
That's just not true. I mean, that's just not true. This is not true. If you've got a lot of fat in your system, it's true. But if you don't.
On the other hand,
no.
Whole carbohydrates are made from foods like fruits, starchy vegetables, legumes, or intact whole grains, which have more fiber and take longer for your body to digest. This means that they don't cause as large of a spike in your blood sugar levels when you eat them.
I still have to ask, right? We don't know what an actual blood sugar level is supposed to be because everybody being tested is on the animal SAD, whatever diet. Period. The tests are from people who are eating foods that they're not supposed to eat. How do we know they're correct? It's kind of like, I don't even know a good example of this. I have no idea. It's kind of like, it's all right. So it's kind of like asking somebody who's been in like 25 accidents in a year how to drive. Like this is a person you're going to, like I know you've been in 25 accidents this year. You must really know how to drive because you've survived all of them. What is your secret? What is your secret, man? It's
and as a bonus, these extra fibers and nutrients are fantastic for your body.
I'm not disagreeing with that. I mean, fiber. I'm not saying that like eat sugar all day, but I'm saying that, You got to have a better context or definition here.
So while we do recommend eating a high carbohydrate diet, we don't recommend eating any type of carbohydrate. It's necessary to limit or eliminate your intake of refined carbohydrates and increase your intake of whole carbohydrates, because
you know what? I got to pull this up. I don't feel like going through all that. If you go to hydute.me, they increased. Let's do this. I'm sorry. You got to see the side of my head here. Let's go. All right. Drinking Pepsi, Coke freely is androgenic for males, enlarges testicles, ups testosterone. That does not happen if you are unhealthy. 0-calorie sweetener linked to clotting, heart attacks, and strokes. So when we go back to this guy with all his damn sugar-free Splenda, the stuff that he is promoting here, or mentioning or whatever, bad English, 0-calorie sweeteners linked to clotting, heart attacks, and strokes. I mean, come on, people. Anyway, this is a good video. I'm going to link this video. I just don't feel like watching any more of it. I wanted to. All right, so when we're on the topic, if keto people are even still around, or if you know somebody on keto and you have nothing to go on, maybe you're like me, like you're still a little overweight, like I am, or you're a land whale and you're like, man, that keto's bad for you, but they're losing a ton of weight or something like that. Or if they are, like I know somebody who ran into somebody who's, promoting keto hardcore at Costco the other day. And they actually told my friend, no lie, that there is no minerals, there's no vitamins, there's no any point in eating vegetables or fruit. There's no minerals in it. There's nothing in it. Nothing. You get it all from meat. All from meat. Meat and dairy. That's where you get your minerals from. It's like, damn. So anyway, I got this pulled up.
Equipment, monitor their blood to see how much fat was in their blood, and then he fed them a glass of heavy cream. 4 to 5 hours after the glass of heavy cream, he registered 14 angina attacks, and yet they were just comfortable in his office.
14 angina attacks after having high fat.
Doing nothing special, just letting the fat get into the blood, make the cells sticking together, block the small vessels, and creating coronary insufficiency. The electrocardiographic results also demonstrated coronary insufficiency, whereas in the beginning, there wasn't any.
None.
Now, Dr. Crow wanted to see if it was the amount of fluid that these people had or what it was, so a short time later, he gave the same patients a drink that had no fat at all, but the same amount of fluid and the same amount of calories. 4 to 5 hours after the test, there wasn't a single angina attack.
Not a single angina attack.
Not a single abnormality in the electrocardiogram.
Nothing.
We've established through the years.
Is that what you want? Is that really what you want? If you want to be on these artificial sweeteners, do you want to be on this, the keto stare? Do you want to have all this, go bald? You can't sleep because you're on caffeine probably, or because your body is in a state of absolute shock. And it's like, we need carbohydrates really bad. So we're going to keep you awake. So you actually go get food that we actually need. Is that what you want? I mean, I just don't understand. All right. I also wanted to pull this up because everybody's like, talking about how sugar causes cancer or sugar causes this, sugar causes that. I can't read it on here. I'm sorry. I gotta look over. Fat, these are all central nervous system related symptoms that can get worse. Can worsen with high blood fat and lower oxygen levels. That's because the pathogens that are a real cause of autoimmune conditions, as well as the cause of many other diseases and health issues, can grow, proliferate, and expand with higher blood fat, causing the illness to worsen. Is that what you want? Glucose isn't solely useful for keeping your blood sugar under control. Your liver itself needs it too. And the ideal liver training, we learned from birth that our livers live on oxygen, water, glucose, and mineral salts. Glucose is, that is, sugar is the real fuel for your liver. So when you don't have it, when you have a high level of fat in your system, or if you've had a high level of fat in your system, you start getting a fatty liver from keto. That's what happened to me. I'm dealing with that. All right. 10 years later, 10. All right, let's watch this for a little while, and then I'm going to peace out.
Welcome to the Exam Room Live, brought to you by the Physicians Committee. Hello, I am the weight loss champion, Chuck Carroll. Thanks so very much for raising your health IQ with us right here on Facebook and on YouTube. Today, we are going to be talking about the keto diet. Is it a weight loss solution that was sent from heaven, or is it a heart attack waiting to happen? Well, my guest today will be helping us.
I've already proven that. 14 angina attacks after 4 hours of a high-fat meal. I mean, come on. And this was not just one person. This was a lot of people.
And cons. As a matter of fact, she just published what is considered by many to be the most comprehensive and in-depth review of the keto diet to date, talking about analyzing data from more than 120 other publications and previous studies, getting to the bottom of the keto diet and seeing where everything shakes out in terms of your health. Dietitian Lee Crosby, the Fiber Queen, she is here with us today as we open up the dietitian's mailbag. And we already have a lot of good questions sitting in that mailbag. Somebody writing in and wondering indeed about that heart attack and all of the fat that comes with the keto diet. Well, does it really make you more prone to have?
No, it's healthy for you, man. Just keep doing it.
Having a heart attack? We're going to get into that. Also have somebody wondering whether keto is good for long-term weight loss, or is it one of those quickie diets?
No, you can lose weight in the initial stage, but wow.
Where you lose 20, but you put 30 back on. We'll talk about that. We have
I already did my own
cholesterol.
Study. And
this is a really good one I'm looking forward to. Low carb diets versus keto diets. Is there really a difference? Well, let's find out. So if you have a question for Lee, go ahead and post that in the comments or the chat box. You can also hit me up on Twitter or Instagram at Chuck Carroll WLC. Send your question there with the hashtag Exam Room Live, and we will do our best to get to as many of these questions as possible with the time that we have here today. So let's go ahead and get everything started and welcome the dietitian extraordinaire, Lee Crosby, back to the Exam Room Live. Lee, how you living?
I'm doing great. I love this intro. I sound so fancy.
That was a long ass intro.
How many studies did you look at for your review?
I mean, the review itself, there were more than 120. So it was a team effort. So I didn't look at every single study myself because I pulled in experts in different areas to work on some of that. But I looked at a whole mess of them. So, it was a lot. It was a lot.
And something that you all need to know about Lee is she works harder than so many people that I know. I mean,
let's just get to the info here, bro.
Talking like the top 1% of hard workers. So when she looks at this data, I'm telling you, she's going through it with a fine-tooth comb, coming back and going back over it with a magnifying glass, then bringing out that comb again and looking a third time. And that's how she crunches her numbers. She is that in depth.
That's embarrassingly true.
But Lee, no, I'm dead serious about this, people. In the press release that was sent out with your review, I mean, you issued a very stern rebuke. You said, quote, that keto was a disease-promoting disaster.
That's all you need to know. It's terrible. It really is.
That is a heck of a rebuke. Is that a statement that you arrived at lightly?
No, but I will say this. It was the typically consumed keto diet, because I can already hear some people who are eating vegan keto and that doesn't.
Come on. Keto is keto.
Look anything like the regular keto diet. So I see you, I hear you, and we can talk to you. But it is. The way most people are eating a keto diet is just,
Why do we always got to have these caveats, man? I mean, the truth is the truth is the truth. Fat is fat is fat, no matter where you get it from. Come on.
It's a mess. It's an unqualified disaster. It really is, in terms of long-term chronic disease risk, and in some cases, short-term side effects. It's just not an overall healthy way to eat.
And matter of fact, I do see some questions starting to come in about vegan keto diets, so we will be getting to that. But let's start with the question from Antonia. She's the one that was wondering about heart attacks. She said, are you more likely to have a heart attack on the keto diet because of all the fat that you're eating?
That is an excellent question. It is something of a roll of the dice, but the answer is quite possibly, right? So I just want to go.
Man. I mean, I literally just... Where was Pritikin here? Do we need to listen to that again? I don't know where it's at. Maybe not. All meat diet.
With man. Stephenson, the explorer, the Arctic explorer that some of you may have remembered some years ago, went on an all-meat diet under the auspices of the American Meat Institute, and his cholesterol went up above 600. And it went up
600?
Almost to 700. So you certainly can get cholesterol levels up if you're going to eat enough meat and enough cholesterol.
And I mean, we all know this, though. I have to admit, we all know that cholesterol is really good for your heart. We all know it doesn't clog the arteries. It doesn't do anything. It's really good for you if you are the pharmaceutical world.
Much the same. Fortunately, we now know that it's possible to reverse artery closure in humans. We have studies proven by coronary angiogram and other angiogram studies. We have demonstrated reversal in not only the coronary arteries, but that's been demonstrated by Dr. Henry Buckwald, University of Minnesota Medical School, reversal of kidney artery closure demonstrated by Dr. Basta, who at that time was with the University of Iowa.
But I thought cholesterol was so good for you, bro.
Go through a couple of some of the studies that have looked at this. So typically, when you lose weight, you lower your cholesterol, right? So you lower your total cholesterol on average by about 1 kilogram, by about 2 milligrams per deciliter, or 2 units for every kilogram of weight that you lose, right? So that's what you would expect. You would expect someone loses weight, that their total cholesterol would drop. Now, this is a study that has been ongoing and done recently. It was a 1-year continuous care ketogenic diet intervention. And they looked at 262 folks. These are people with diabetes. And what they did was they put them on an intensive keto diet along with lots and lots of support. And they found that in that 1 year, people's body weight dropped 13 kilograms, right? Or about 30 pounds. So 13, let's just say that's 14 kilograms. And we'd expect their cholesterol to drop every, 2 milligrams per kilo. So for 28, we expect their cholesterol to come down by about 28 milligrams per deciliter. But in fact, their total cholesterol, despite that weight loss, went up by 8.1 milligrams per deciliter.
Because you're concentrating the cholesterol even more.
Deciliter, and their bad or LDL cholesterol went up by 10%. Again, that's not what we would expect to see in a diet where you're losing an average of 14 kilograms or 30 pounds, right? That's a significant weight loss. So it looks like people's heart disease risk is actually going not in a direction you want it to go. Now, there was some improvement in their HDL. So I don't want to make it, I want to represent it the way that is fair, but it's very concerning considering the effects of LDL in terms of heart disease risk. And what's extra scary to me personally is that for some people, the devil's really in the details here. When you look at the average, you're like, well, maybe it's not so dangerous, but for some people, it can be incredibly dangerous, right? So okay, an example. So this was a study that was published way back in 2004, way back. So we had, again.
Is keto even real back then?
And this was looking at a ketogenic.
Wasn't it Atkins back then?
Diet. And what they found was that one participant, and if you want to know the details, okay, let's see. I'll go back and look at it, right? It was 24 weeks long. So long enough to, start showing some difference. And it was comparing a keto diet to a low fat diet. And again, I put air quotes around low fat for people who are listening, because it was really about 30% of calories from fat, which is what most.
That is not low fat.
Americans are eating. So it's really not much of a difference relative to usual diet. But people on the keto diet lost on average more weight. But here's the scary part. 30% of the people who were losing weight had substantial bad cholesterol increases, right? Greater than 10%. Again, we would expect that to.
Yeah, because you're concentrating the cholesterol even more because you've got less weight on you. It's
go the other direction when you lose weight. But in this case, the bad cholesterol was going up despite the weight loss. One participant had their LDL go from 182, which is, you want it under 100, fun fact, 182 when they started, to 219 milligrams per deciliter. This is just the bad cholesterol now. A second person had their LDL rise by almost 100 points from 180.
I mean, you just heard that video I played from Pritikin and it went up to 600 or 700. It's ridiculous. Anyway, I think this is enough. I think, I'll try to remember to link these videos down below. That is my thoughts on keto. I know I talk about keto a lot, but some of the stuff I'm hearing anymore, and especially the grocery things that I do, I was like, it's really, it sucks because, like the doctors back in the day, they're like, you can't do this keto, man. You're going to have a lot of issues. And I'm like, whatever, bro. I'm 19. I don't care. But, what am I, 42 now? And it's just like, wish I would have listened. Ironically, I've said this like 3 or 4 times. The doctor who was telling me that actually went on keto and died from cancer 2 years ago. And he was only 60 or something like that. So, I mean, it's ridiculous. Anyway, that's the video. I hope you liked it. If you think this would do anybody any good, share the video because there's a lot of keto going on these days. And the people who they're watching on these keto diets, on YouTube, like that Tom DeLauer or whatever his name, steroid boy. I mean, they're all steroid boys, man. It's ridiculous. Whatever. Anyway, comments, questions down below. Like, subscribe, and I'll talk to you in the next video.